Hey, yo, what up, nerds, and welcome to week 8 football night in P Town. I'm looking through the scores right now. It's been a wild Sunday, a wild week in our fantasy league here, P Town Fantasy Football. So, over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to run through all the scores of our games leading up to the 8:30 game tonight, which is Bills and Packers, and also top players so far at each position going into tonight's game and also into Monday. So first off, got to give a shout out to my Finns catching the dub today against the Lions. And then also, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, Jalen Hurts is good. Fly Eagles, fly, baby. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, welcome back. So we're going to just jump right in to the scores for today's games leading into Sunday Night Football. So the first game I'm going to review, it's a 10-2 matchup as of right now. We have injured reserve affiliates against Broward County Beefcakes. So Marquise against RJ, and it's a 1-6 matchup against 5-2, currently 10 seed versus 2 seed. And this is probably going to be one of the bigger upsets of the week, 10 versus 2, right? Right now, going into Sunday Night Football, injured reserve affiliates has about 60 minutes left to play, and they're currently at 145. The Beefcakes have about 120 minutes left to play, and they only have 66 points. So it's coming down to essentially Sunday night and Monday night for this matchup. But the players left for injured reserve affiliates for tonight, we have Evan McPherson, just the kicker for the Bengals. And then for Beefcakes, we've got the legend Josh Allen, rocket arm, looks good in shorts. And then also Joe Mixon, running back for the Bengals. So projections for this game, it's looking like injured reserve affiliates projected 152, where Beefcakes are 108.90. So essentially, it's not going to say it's a done deal, because if we're looking at it, Josh Allen could just absolutely go ape shit tonight and put up well over his projections, which are just 22.9. And Joe Mixon as well tomorrow night. He's projected to get 19 points. So it's not over by any stretch of the means, but it's a tall order for the Beefcakes to try to come back and take this one this week. So that's a 10-2 matchup. Currently 60 minutes left for injured reserve affiliates, and Broward County Beefcakes 120. Currently that game is 145 to 66. Top player on the affiliates, dude, Christian McCaffrey, just absolutely going ape shit. 40 points right now. And that is, I believe that's a top player. Yeah, that's a top player for injured reserve affiliates. And I mean, Josh Allen very well could wind up being the top player for the Beefcakes after tonight's game. But as of right now, we have Travis Etienne with 25, and then Brandon Ayuk showing up as well with 20. So this game, like I said, not over by any means. Not a lot to talk about on the. Oh my gosh, actually, Donta Foreman for injured reserve affiliates, 31 points for Carolina on his bench. But this match is not over by any means yet, guys. So it's going to be an interesting one coming down the line. Probably done. I don't want to put the Beefcakes out of it, considering they've been a workhorse the entire year. Exciting to see what could happen with that matchup. All right. So moving into the next matchup here, a lot of close games, what I'm looking at right now, and a lot of scores that could really kind of swing things in the league here, boys. So next game I'm going to get into is MDV against Fuddruckers V5. So if we're looking at seeding, it's a 9-7 matchup with Mike currently sitting at 2-5, and he has 60 minutes left to play tonight. And Blay is also at 2-5, but he has 120 left to play tonight. So current score coming into Sunday Night Football for this game is MDV has 136.54 and Fuddruckers has 112.02. The final projection for this game is looking to be extremely close. So 143.6 to Fuddruckers 140.83. So let's look at the top players tonight for this matchup on this team in particular. Derrick Henry looks like he's the top eater. Oh, yeah, absolutely just ate tonight. 35 points. And looking at his stats, what did he have today? 32 attempts, 219 rush yards with 2 tutties. And then he had 1 receiving target for just 9 yards. So that's For MDV, let's see what his bench looked like. Tyler Conklin with 25 points on the bench, but I mean, he was only projected 7 coming into today. So who really would have saw that one, but no big deal. And then on the bench for Fuddruckers, we had Jacoby Myers for the Pats with 21 over his projection of 12.43. All right. So remaining players. So like I said, MDV only has 60. So there's one guy remaining, and that's just Bengals defense on Monday night. And then for Fuddruckers, we have two players left, which we have Amari Cooper on the Browns. That's Monday night. And then also T. Higgins. So Amari Cooper is projected to get 13.16 and T. Higgins with 15.65. Bengals is projected to get 7.6. So that game is definitely going to be coming down to the wire, guys. So if we're paying attention to any games other than ours, this one could be pretty fun to watch. So that's MDV against Fuddruckers V5. So the next matchup I'm going to look into here, it's going to be an 8 versus 3. We've got the Dongs against Tyler's No Flockin. And this one seems like it's just about over. No time remaining for Cam and the Megalodongs. He's finished out for the week at 102.4. No Flockin, Tyler is currently sitting at 120 minutes remaining, and he has 58.2. So let's look at the players for this matchup here. I'll start with the Montana Megalodongs. Top player. Who else? Who else? But Jalen Waddle with a 30 burger. Absolutely amazing. Watching that game today against the Lions, I felt like every other pass was just going to Waddle. He had 2 tutties, was hitting the middle of the field like awesomely. Had to take a drink of my beer. 30 burger for my boy Jalen Waddle. Love to see it, especially him coming off that drop ball a couple weeks back against the Vikings. Really big comeback for him here. So let's go over to No Flockin. The remaining players for him, both Buffalo. So coming into tonight's game, Stefon Diggs projected 18.3. He very well could go over that projection too. So we'll have to pay attention to that one. And then Devin Singletary is projected 14.3. So that's the starting lineup. On the bench, best player for the Dongs looked like it was Dak Prescott with 25. And then nothing really to report for No Flockin. Best player was DK Metcalf on the bench with 17.5. So the final projections of that one for this game here is going to be 102.4 compared to No Flockin's 90.86. So this one's pretty much all but over. And that's a huge upset if it does finish out this way. It's an 8 versus 3. So that's going to put Cam going in at potentially 3-5 and Tyler dropping to 5-3. So looking at these games here coming into tonight and into tomorrow before the rankings and everything change on Tuesday, there could be a lot of movement in the league. So that's the Montana Megalodongs against No Flockin. All right. So now I'm going to save this one for last. We'll go ahead and jump into my game real quick. So we got Tuanon against Rugs Driving School. I've been sitting on pins and needles for this one the entire day, just paying attention to my roster, seeing everything that's going on, because Lil Dill and I both have 120 minutes left, and it's a really tight one right now. Currently, well, first of all, our matchup ranking, I'm 5, he's 4. So playoff implications essentially on the line, moving us in, also points for and points against, right? So currently our game is at Tuanon 106.4 to Rugs Driving School 109.42. So let's look at the remaining players for both teams. So I only have 2 players left. We got Nick Chubb tomorrow night, so I'm hoping he has a big game. He definitely could go off. And then tonight in the Sunday night game, I've got Dawson Knox. So Lil Dill only has Buffalo players left. He's got Tyler Bass, the kicker for the Bills, and then also the Bills defense. So Tyler Bass is projected 7.49, and the Bills defense is projected 6.68. So and Dawson Knox for me is projected 7.87. So and Nick Chubb is projected 15.26. Right. So this game is going to come right down to the wire. The final projection of what everything is saying here on the app supposed to go to Tuanon 129.54 to Rugs Driving School 123.59, but anything can happen. This is a really close game. We both have the same remaining players left, essentially the same amount of time left. So top players in our starting lineups for me, it's Tyreek Hill. He put up a 31.5 banger today. Absolutely insane. My dude almost had 200 receiving yards. And then just got to rep my dude, Jalen Hurts, 28 points. Put on an absolute clinic today against the Steelers. So the Steagles game, really good. I wish I could have seen it, but go Birds and go Fins. So best player for Ruggs Driving School, we're looking at oh, it's a really tight one. Jamal Williams, yeah, he absolutely had a fantastic day for the Lions. Jamal Williams had 22.6, and then Lamar Jackson had 21. So right there, right on the line, right? And then just notable, Tua had an amazing game, 29.18 points on my bench. So I guess it didn't really matter who if I started Jalen or if I started Tua. Just an absolutely awesome game for him. Kirk Cousins on Ruggs Driving School bench had 23 points. So I'm going to be sitting on pins and needles tonight and tomorrow watching this game because a lot riding on this matchup here for both myself and Lil Dill, especially with the injury he just had and everything else that he's trying to do moving on to the rest of the season. So that's a 5 versus 4. Currently I'm sitting at 4-3, and so is Ruggs Driving School. All right, take a drink here real quick. So the number 1 team in the league, Buttonwood Kayakers, going up against the number 6 team, Senior El Hefferson. So this one is not even a contest at all anymore. I'm going to call game right now. Riley still has about 240 minutes left, and Senior El Hefferson has about 60. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, Rye. I mean, rooting for you, but like Senior El Hefferson has 181.84 going into Sunday night, and Buttonwood only has 61.5. 181 points. That's just absolutely fucking insane. So the final projections of what this is looking like is Senior Hefferson is scratching the 200 mark at 192.37, and I mean, finally Joe is kind of getting his ball rolling because he's just been on an absolute scoring tear the last couple weeks. Like last week, he had the second highest score. The only one higher is the dude that he played in the fucking game. So again, a lot of things moving here. This is a 6 versus 1. So let's look at the top players coming into Sunday night for both rosters. So top players for Riley, Buttonwood, of course, who else other than Cooper Kupp right now with 22.9 points. And for Senior El Hefferson, this is going to be a tough one to choose from. Just so many dudes just absolutely ate today. So for him, since there's so many, I'm going to run through all of his top dudes because you can't just name one. Alvin Kamara absolutely just ate today with a 42.8 points, projected 19. Insane. Absolutely insane. AJ Brown on my Eagles, 39.6. D Hop with 33. Dallas defense did well with 11 points today. I mean, good. Congratulations, man. That is an awesome week. So we'll see what happens. Positioned really well, kind of moving into the rest of the season for sure. So again, Riley currently sitting at number 1, Joey Senior El Hefferson sitting at number 6. Buttonwood has 240 minutes left to play, and Joe has 60. So I mean, it could get closer. I don't see a world where he could really put up anything higher than maybe 140 if Joe Burrow absolutely goes off. But weirder things have happened in this league. So we'll have to see. Again, all of these games, in my opinion, super exciting to watch. This is the only one that isn't relatively close. So kudos to all y'all. Awesome week 8 so far. So let's go ahead and jump into the top players at each position. And we're going to start with the QB. I'll do top 5 just because that's what it gives me here. I'm very blessed to have both the top quarterbacks this week on my roster. Tua for Tuanon, 29 points. Jalen Hurts on Tuanon. Jalen Hurts is good. Guys, remember that Jalen Hurts is good. 28.4. Justin Fields currently on waivers with 26. He's frisky. If anyone looking for a quarterback, he's currently 16th in the league. So 26 points. Dak on the Megalodons with 25.4, and Call of Duty champ Kyler Murray on MDV with 24.64, currently the number 6 QB in the league. So again, very blessed to have both the top quarterbacks in the league on my roster. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting moving forward. So let's go ahead and jump in the top running backs. So top running backs this week. I mean, Alvin Kamara, come on. Senior Earl Hefferson, 42.8 points. He's number 1. Christian McCaffrey on injured reserve affiliates, number 2 with 40.26. Then you have Derrick Henry on MDV with 35. Tony Pollard. Yeah, Tony Pollard on Fuddruckers with 33.7. And then you have Donta Foreman on injured reserve affiliates with 31.8. So that's the top 5 running backs for week 8. Top wide receivers. Let's go ahead and look at this one here. AJ Brown, Senior L. Hefferson, 39.6 points. That is insane. Awesome numbers. D-Hop, again, Senior L. Hefferson. So Senior L. Hefferson is blessed to have the 2 top wide receivers in his starting lineup in the top 5 in the league. 33.9 points. My guy, Tyreek Hill, Reeky, number 3, 31.5. Then his compadre, Jalen Waddle, with 30.6. And number 5, we have DJ Moore with 27.5 on Senior L. Hefferson. So 3 out of the top 5 wide receivers are on Senior L. Hefferson's roster. He's going to be a tough beat going into the rest of the year, guys. So we might want to start beefing up. We thought Riley was going to be the beef. Senior L. Hefferson's coming for that ass, apparently. He's got 3 amazing receivers, and his entire roster is solid. So let's see if we can kind of, help him catch a dub or take an L. Sorry, take an L next week. All right. So top tight ends. We have Tyler Conklin currently on MDV with 25.9. Number 2, Isaiah Likely, very likely to have the second highest numbers in the league, currently on waivers, 19.7. He plays for Baltimore. Kyle Pitts on Senior L. Hefferson with 19 points. Evan Ingram, right? Yeah, Evan Ingram, 15 points on Fuddruckers, 15.5, excuse me. And then my Balzackerts on the Montana Megalodons with 13.4 points. All right, top kickers. The majority of these guys, again, 3 out of the 5 are going to be on waivers. So number 1 currently on waivers is Nick Folk with 21. My young ho decided to show up today. I was very upset, going into the end of the 4th quarter. They eventually went into overtime, but my young ho showed up. Number 2 kicker in the league this week with 14 points. And then we have Chase McLaughlin with 11 at number 3, currently on waivers. Jason Myers with 11 points for MDV. And then on waivers, Mike Bagley, 10 points. And the top defenses for this week, 3 out of the 5, again, on waivers. Saints defense with 16 points on waivers. Eagles D for the injured reserve affiliates with 14 points. Seahawks currently on waivers with 13. America's team, the Wow Boys defense, Senior L. Hefferson, 11 points. And then coming in at number 5, we got the Vikings currently on waivers with right at the line, 10 points. So that'll be it for football night in P-Town week 8. A lot of interesting games, potential movement in the standings, and we'll be able to take a deeper look at that coming into our Tuesday night show. But so far, pretty fun week, a lot of great matchups, tons of scoring, a lot of high scoring affairs for sure. So been an awesome week. Good luck the rest of the night moving into Monday, and stay frosty. Peace.